Hey, I'm Jenny. I'm a board-certified health and wellness coach, yoga and Pilates instructor. One way to help ourselves ease stress is to start our day with movement. In this sequence I'm about to show you, I'm specifically addressing tight hamstrings and lower back. All right, let's start on the mat. I'm gonna have a blanket here. You can use a towel or a blanket to place under your knees just to add a little comfort. And starting on the hands and knees, just to wake up your back, we'll do a few cat-cows, extending the chest forward and breathing in, rounding the back and breathing out. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, round. You can do that 3 or 4 times. Feel as though you're pulling your ribcage away from your hips. And then you're rounding and creating space between each vertebra. Great. And then a little child's pose, feet together, knees apart, and send your bottom back toward your heels. If your knees don't like this position, a couple of tricks. Take your blanket and place it underneath the crease of your knees. You can even fold it over a couple times. And then as you sit back, you have a little space on the knee joint. All right. So I myself don't need this blanket. I'm going to put it aside, but just know that you have it, or have a towel within reach so that you have something handy. Okay, we're going to take 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use a chair. You can use sturdy books or encyclopedias. And for today, we're going to walk the blocks off to your your left side, and swing the right leg around to the front. For anyone who's really tight, the knee is probably still going to be bent. The back is going to be rounded. So our emphasis is on extending the spine and then attempting to stretch that leg in front of us. If it's a little bit bent, that's okay. You're just working at where you are. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch that leg. And then we're hanging out here. Maybe point and flex the foot a few times. And if you are stretched with a straight leg, you can begin to fold a little deeper, just avoiding the rounded back, and instead create that straight shape. All right. We're going to take the blocks to the inside of that thigh. So both blocks are to the left of my right leg. And I'm bringing my right leg to the right, directly to the side. My toes are going to point forward in the direction of my hands. I can either use the blocks on the flattest edge, or you can do without the blocks. If you're tight in the shoulders, you might find no blocks is better. And we're going to walk the blocks forward, or the hands forward, and push into the mat to send your bottom back in space. Ideally, my ears are in line with my biceps, my inner arms, as opposed to up here or down here. So in line. And this is how it looks like with the blocks. It just gives me an added height, and sometimes that's helpful. Front view of this posture is here. And then walking the blocks back, bringing your knees together. We'll bring the blocks back onto the highest edge. And I'm going to go ahead and face the other direction, but you can face the short end of the mat as you did before. And walking the blocks this time to the right to free up your left leg, and we'll bring the left leg around to the front. Blocks on either side of that front foot. Again, if you rounded like this, we're attempting to extend the spine and start to stretch that leg. Wherever you are, breathe into that stretch. You might point the foot and flex the foot 4 or 5 times. Swing that leg around to the side, but first we're moving the block out of the way and moving the foot to the side, directly side. The toes are pointing in the direction of the hands, and that leg that's extended is straight. We're standing above the standing knee and either using blocks or no blocks to slide the hands forward. This is like a downward facing dog arm and body, so that the line is straight from the hands to your sit bones. And my butt bones are sliding back toward the room behind me. Again, if you notice shoulder tension, feel free to come off the blocks or come a little closer with the hands to the knee. And then bring the hands and blocks back. Bring your legs together. Great. Let's move the blocks to the side for a moment. And tucking the toes under and giving yourself a foot stretch. You can start to sit back toward your heels a little bit and get it into the arches of the foot. That really wakes up my feet. And then I'm going to take the blocks and I'm going to turn them slightly out so that the long end of the block is facing out to the corner of my mat. And my hands are going to face in the same direction, like my fingertips are going off like starfish or like sun rays. And this is because this opens up my shoulders. If I'm like this, if I'm tight in the shoulders, I'll be here. But if I open my hands, my shoulders can roll open. So that's why I'm using the blocks today. And we're pressing up into downward facing dog, just tucking the toes under and lifting up into your downward facing dog. If you're finding yourself up here and you're really rounded in the back, bend the knees and tilt your tailbone behind you toward where the ceiling and the wall meet behind you. So way up high. Slowly begin to stretch one leg, maybe the other leg. Side note, my blocks are slippery. So if this is happening to you, a couple of cures. One is to wet the mat just a little bit, or put a towel down at the top where your blocks are to help that. All right, so we're gonna walk the feet toward the blocks. Now, if you're really tight, you're gonna find that you're really rounded, so do your best to adjust the blocks to the highest edge, and then walk your feet toward those blocks. So we're standing at the top of the mat now, and using your hands, start to extend the chest forward, creating a flat back, or at least as flat as you can here. And then fold the rest of the way. Do that again, extend the chest forward. You're welcome to come up all the way onto your fingertips. We're also trying not to overly arch the back, but not tuck, but not arch, so find that neutral. And exhale to fold. And one more time, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Root down through your feet, extend the chest forward, engage the abdominals here and your butt bones toward each other, squeezing the butt a little bit, bring your hands to your hips and come all the way up. All right, we're gonna go through a sun salutation. Feet can be together like this or slightly apart. And blocks are on the highest edge. Placing the hands together near your heart, full breath in, arms up. Exhale, fold, hands to the blocks or the shin bones. Inhale, lengthen forward. For this, we'll just slide the blocks forward, bend the knees, place your hands flat, and slide back into plank pose. Inhale in plank. You either lower your knees down for this next part or keep your knees up. We're going to bend the elbows halfway. And then roll it all the way to the ground, untuck the toes. Inhale, lengthen forward, little baby cobra. Release down. Press up through bent knee. Tuck your toes, full plank, downward facing dog. Full breath in through your nose. Let's sigh it out the mouth here. Breathing in naturally through your nose and out the nose. And again, if this is really tight for you, you're bending your knees. We have the option here of jumping forward toward the hands or walking forward. Walking forward is this, walking forward. Use the blocks here. Jumping forward is we're lifting the heels up, we're bending the knees looking forward. Into the exhale, I'm going to jump up and land. My cat Cece likes that too apparently, or doesn't like that. Inhale, lengthen, fingertips on the blocks if you need them, or on your shins. Exhale, fold, or on the floor. Root down through your feet, out through your arms, forward through your head, come all the way to the top. And hands to the heart. Do one more version, this time with full chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Full breath. Release the hands, circle out to come up. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Hands to the shins, the floor, or the blocks. Then inhale, lengthen forward. Bend the knees slightly, place your hands flat, step back into plank pose. Take a breath in plank. Ears are in line with my shoulders, in line with my hips, in line with my heels. I'm going to bend my elbows halfway, pause here, and then I'm pulling myself forward. Flip one foot, flip the other foot. My legs are lifting, my abdominals are lifting, my shoulder heads are back. Take an inhale. Lift the belly button and the hips and fold over one foot and then the next, downward facing dog. Full inhale. Full exhale. Sit bones up and back. Press those thighs back. Put some weight toward the heels of your feet. Broaden the space between your shoulders and your upper back region. Lift your heels on your inhale. Bend your knees looking forward. Into the exhale, step or jump. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root down with the feet, forward with the head, out with the arms. Inhale. And let's bring the arms all the way down by your side. This is Samastitihi, which is even standing. Wonderful. Find your way down onto your back. So pull your knees into the chest and just relax here for a moment. You can rock side to side or give yourself a little twist. Knees can go to one side. Look to the opposite shoulder. And knees go to the other side. Look to the opposite shoulder. And then give yourself a Shavasana. Shavasana is corpse pose. And it is when you just allow your body to rest, to reset the nervous system, and give yourself a minute here.